Hey everyone, do you have that passion project, that goal, that desire deep within your heart that you've been trying for years to get started and you just haven't been able to get there? Well, today I'm going to share with you things that I've learned along my journey that's helped me to get started. So my hope is by the end of this video, whatever your goal is, that you'll be able to get going right away. I remember someone once said to me, life is not a dress rehearsal. And that's something that really struck me because we always think there's more time. And after all these lockdowns that we've experienced after the pandemic, it felt like I lost a lot of time. And many of us may be feeling like the wind got knocked out of our sails. Wherever you may find yourself, the time to start is now. Because if the time to start is not now, then when is it? There truly is no better time than the present. So what stops us from getting started? The first thing I want to talk about is a 0 to 100 mentality. So if you're anything like me, you may find yourself expecting to start out with an expert level of proficiency with something you've never done before. And as a recovering perfectionist, I wrestle with these thoughts. You may find yourself saying something like, if I'm not going to do this right, then why bother at all? There's the saying, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. And that's attributed to the Italian philosopher Voltaire. And it's something I often have to remind myself of because aspiring for things to be perfect is a dead end. You'll never ever get over that starting point if you're expecting to be perfect. It's going to stop you from releasing the goodness that's within inside you, that uniqueness that you have to offer into the world. I've learned that there's beauty in imperfection, and it's good. The Bible also speaks about us having these treasures in jars of clay. Now, clay jars are subject to imperfections. They're subject to chipping. That's us. And when I accept my imperfections, or at least as many of them as is possible right now, that I'm not perfect, I'm able to embrace my whole self, my true self. And from that place of wholeness, I can start something good and release it into reality. So my encouragement to you is get started. Take your current knowledge, your current abilities, your current skills, your current tools, equipment, whatever it is that you currently have, and get started with that. Remember, it can only get better from here on out. Another showstopper to getting started is what I like to call microwave mentality. It's that instant results mentality that we so often have because social media floods us every day with what the finished result looks like or what someone far in their journey, how their results appear. We see the successful business thriving with great customer feedback or the person that's lost 45 kgs or 100 pounds. These things don't happen overnight. When we see the end result or someone that's progressing well in their journey, we don't necessarily know the failures, the struggles, the desire to just throw in the towel and give up, the pushing through, the giving up, the trying again, the getting going again, all the milestones. We see the end result and we think, when I get started, that's what it needs to look like. We want the results now. It's true. We're so used to instant everything. Instant search results, instant popcorn, instant noodles, instant oats, instant television shows, instant movies at our fingertips, instant messaging. We've forgotten what it is to wait, to push through, to not see the instant results. When we don't get the instant results we want, it can be disheartening because we get so intimidated by comparison, with comparing our starting point with someone else's progress on their journey. And often these things are meant to be an encouragement to us in our journey, but instead it can have the opposite effect. We can become very despondent because we want to be there now. Think about it. If someone else has put in the effort for 3 years to be where they are at now with their goal, their dream, their vision. Maybe even they've been doing it for a decade. How can we expect ourselves to be where they're at? First up, if someone has put in the effort, they deserve the results that they are getting. We can't expect the same results if we're just getting started now. But the moment we start, we're on that journey. And that is where we will begin to see the progress, which will further motivate us along the way. What I like to remind myself of is that the only person I am competing against is who I was yesterday. That is my only competition. That is my only race. So am I growing? Am I learning? Am I getting better at this? That's how I want to rather define success along my journey. Am I going to hit stumbling blocks? Am I going to fail? Yes. But then I can start again, and I'm starting again from a better vantage point than when I first started, because now I'm starting again with experience. I love this quote from Jen Shin. A flower does not think of competing with the flower next to it. It just blooms. Why? Because a flower only worries about its own blooming and fulfilling its own purpose. It's not distracted by comparison or the results of others. And so the world gets to see the unique God-given beauty of that flower as it blooms. Comparison kills authenticity. I'm going to say it again. Comparison kills authenticity. When you get started on your dream, it's your original story. No one can take it away from you, and no one can do it quite like you. If you're enjoying this video, I just want to encourage you to hit the subscribe button or click the like button. Let me know down in the comments what's stopping you from getting started right now. Or maybe drop a line and let us know how you got started with your goal or your dream. Here's one I am very guilty of. Preparation paralysis. So this is one of my favorites. I can't start jogging because I don't have that 3,000 Rand pair of shoes that I really need because they glow in the dark, even though I plan to jog during the day. And that is what preparation paralysis does. We throw every excuse in front of us between ourselves and the starting line. It makes us not want to start that exercise until we have the pro gear. The danger with this is we can convince ourselves that I will get started when I have this equipment, or I will get started when I have this tool, or whatever it may be. And what I've seen happen, and I've experienced it myself, where once I purchase the gear, it just sits there. And maybe I only get started 3 months later. Why? Because it wasn't the real thing holding me back from getting started. It was my own fear of what it might look like when I start. We expect a thing to change our thinking, and it doesn't work that way. The thinking, the mindset has to shift first. We tend to get it backwards. Get going with that dream, get going with that goal, get going with that business plan, and then if you can show yourself to be consistent with getting started and getting going, then reward yourself with the gear. I could have said, you know what? I'm not going to start this YouTube channel until I have a 25,000 Rand camera. But I decided, let me get started, let me get going with what I have. And what I have is a smartphone with a decent camera. Start with what you have. For example, if you don't have a gym membership, don't let that stop you from your fitness goals. There are so many resources available out there with regards to body weight exercises, cardio, all sorts of things you can do with very little equipment and sometimes no equipment at all. So it's good to reward ourselves for consistency with getting more tools, getting more equipment to help us with our goal. But don't let what you don't have be a stumbling block. Another problem is we just have too many options in front of us. These days, there are so many how-tos, so many experts, so many opposing ideas and views on just about everything. We're in an era of TMI with a plethora of conflicting ideas at our fingertips. Want to eat healthier? Great. Do I do keto? Low carb? Do I go carnivore or vegan, vegetarian? Do I focus on calories in, calories out, complex carbs? There are so many different ways to go. And everybody is ready to tell you this is the correct way. Is it time to get fit, lose weight, and build muscle? There's so many workout plans out there. Which one do I get started with? Do I try one for a few days and when I don't see the results, I just switch it up to something else because I think I'm going to see results in a few days? Consistency will always win out. What about starting my business? Which is the best way to market my product or service? As part of preparation paralysis, we get caught in information overload. When it comes down to it, you just have to pick your starting point, bite the bullet, and get going. I found it's easier to redirect and change course once I've got started and I can see something's not working after a certain amount of time, or maybe immediately I can see something was maybe the wrong plan to get going with, and then I can change it up. But if I don't get started, I won't ever know in the first place. There are no shortcuts to working out what works for you. My next point is broadcasting. Accountability, or being accountable to someone, can often help us get started, get consistent, and break through. But there is a dark side to the whole accountability thing, and that is oversharing. Because the moment you broadcast it, you're saying, hey, look at me, this is my plan, this is what I'm doing. And we end up applying so much pressure to ourselves because now we've put it out there, and now we are so concerned with meeting others' expectations that we have actually given them. And so now, because we've told everyone, the pressure becomes overwhelming and we get stuck. We get too scared to start because now it's about everyone else's expectations and no longer about that dream that's so deep in our heart that we just couldn't wait to get started. We have enough expectations on ourselves without adding the expectation of others. So find that person or those few people in your circle of trust that you can share your dream or your goal with. Be accountable selectively. Be discerning about who you share your dream with, because not everybody is going to support you. And we can be hard enough on ourselves without introducing negativity from people that just don't get us. Find people that will encourage you, that will speak life into you, that will spur you on to getting started, to getting going with your dream. You have a uniqueness about you. There is only one you, and nobody is going to accomplish your goal or do your dream the way you can. Even if what you are aspiring to do is an idea that you feel like it's been done before, it's not original, remember, the moment you apply yourself to it with your own life experience, your own skill set, your own hopes and desires, it becomes unique. There is only one you, and only you can do it your way. So my hope is that you're ready to get started. If you've enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. You can subscribe to my channel because there's more videos coming up. And please let me know down in the comments below what your dream is and how you're going to get started. It's time to bloom.